You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
And today on our Total Wellness Tuesday, I'm going to actually give you the one-page cheat sheet that we use with all of our wellness clients here at the Cabral Wellness Institute in Boston when they are doing a liver and gallbladder cleanse. So remember, this isn't something that we give for everyone, but honestly, everyone could benefit from this unless you do have biliary stasis-based issues or you've been told in the past that you should not actually do anything to open up to cleanse the liver. And that's not most people. But I will tell you this, your liver is literally, I would say, it's tough to compete for what's best, but your liver is one of the most, if not the most important organ in your body. And a lot of ancient medicine formulas say the strength of your liver determines the strength of your energy, the strength of your mood, meaning like you're more prone to anger, those types of things, if it's congested. So really, what is your liver? I like to look at the liver as this. I used to explain it kind of as the car filter. So like when you're turning the air conditioning during the summer and when you're driving down the highway, you have all this stuff coming in through the front of your car. It's being sucked up and then the air filter is preventing all that smog and pollution and particles from coming into the air in the car. Well, that's basically what your liver does. You can also look at it as your vacuum cleaner. It's sucking everything up and it's basically filtering all that dust and all those things. That your liver literally cleans all of the blood in your body every 6 minutes, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Well, guess what? All these toxins that it collects in there, you have thousands of bile ducts in your liver. All of that bile and all of these ducts can get congested. That's just the way it is. That's just the way the body works. So what your liver does, though, is it tries to take the bile with all of the different toxins in it, heavy metals, plastics, PCBs, environmental toxins, the chemicals, and it takes and it dumps it into your intestines. And then when you have a bowel movement, all of these toxins are allowed to come out. Now, it's a very beautiful, intricate working system through the hepatoportal duct and the hepatoportal vein. It works phenomenally well. You don't need to know how it works in order to work. But some people can actually start to get too much cholesterol buildup, too much toxicity buildup, and they get gallstones or gallbladder stones or just gallbladder congestion or biliary stasis. And they actually get some cramping or bloating after a high-fat meal under the rib cage on the right side. Now, other versions or other symptoms of having liver congestion is, of course, that stones, but also high cholesterol, skin-based issues, spots on the skin, yellow-tinted eyes, yellow-tinted skin, just poor skin rashes in general. Because remember, your skin, if your liver isn't doing its job, then your skin will be forced to push out a lot of these toxins as well. So that's really important, to look at too. Acne in general, again, skin-based, eye-based, if your energy feels a little weaker, if your mood's a little off. So again, this applies to most people, right? Well, a liver cleanse can be a great thing to do for most people, even just once a year. What I want to do now is not go through who should do it or who shouldn't do it. You can work with a functional medicine practitioner. You can read more about what is this specific cleanse. And again, this cleanse has been around for thousands of years, but there was a great book that kind of brought it back to the mainstream. Of course, I love to read, love to give credit to those people who bring it to the mainstream. So I don't believe he's a doctor, but he's just as smart as any doctor out there. And his name is Andreas Moritz. And he is a very smart natural health practitioner and someone who studied Ayurvedic medicine in depth, and his cleanse comes from Ayurvedic medicine. So let me give you the breakdown, the cheat sheet of how to complete an actual liver or gallbladder cleanse. And it's so extremely simple because really it's only 24 hours out of your time. But for a week leading up to that cleanse day, which I typically recommend on a Saturday or Sunday when you can be home for half the day, is that you're going to want to prepare yourself for the week. So during the week, you're going to want to soften the bile inside of the liver. And you're going to then want to open those bile ducts. Well, you do that very simply by this. We use malic acid in our practice. Malic acid is not only good for energy because it's part of the citric acid cycle, part of mitochondrial-based energy, part of the Krebs cycle. You don't need to know what that means. Some fun biochemistry for those people who are into it. But you're going to use about a half to 1 teaspoon of malic acid, or you can use the capsules, in 8 ounces of water, and you're going to use it 4 times a day. So simply, you're going to have it when you wake up, a half hour before lunch, a half hour before dinner, and then before bed. The same exact way that we use our intestinal cleanse. And again, you can see this at stevencabral.com/store. And you can see our intestinal cleanse there. We don't have the liver and gallbladder cleanse up there simply because there's really nothing that you need. And so our store is only there to give you the easiest and best pricing option for the products that you need to get from a licensed healthcare practitioner or naturopathic doctor. So all you need is a bottle of food-grade malic acid powder. So simple to use. And you mix that up with water 4 times a day, you're all set. Or you can use malic acid capsules. That works too. And then for dietary restrictions, really, you're going to go on a low animal protein or none at all. You can just use fish, or you can use vegan, vegetarian-based meals. And again, if you've done the Dr. Cabral Detox, you already know what those are. They're chickpeas and lentils and black beans. And again, it's really simple. But you're going to stay away from the eggs, and you're going to stay away from the animal protein for a week. Why? You're just not going to want to add more fat or high fat to your diet. And you're going to go very low fat for the week. So yes, you can still use some avocado, you can use some olive oil and some ghee, but just try to go on the lighter side, okay? Now, you're just going to do that for about 5 or 6 days. And now on the day before you do your liver cleanse, which I'll explain in a minute, you're going to want to drink a mixture of all of your malic acid that you would do for the day, right? So your 2 teaspoons with your 24 ounces of water or 32 ounces of water first thing in the morning. And then for breakfast, you're going to have a very light breakfast. And after that, you're just going to have vegetarian-based meals of just some vegetables and maybe some steamed white rice, something just very, very easy to digest. And you could put in a pinch of sea salt if you would like. And then after that, I don't want you to drink anything except water after that vegetarian lunch. So anything after 1:30 p.m., really no foods after that. Because we're going to then make sure that everything is really moved through the stomach, that's moved through the intestines. And then that night, what I would like you to do is this. And what I'll do is I'll make a PDF of this, and you can just download it in our show notes. I need to make sure I get this ready for you, though, is this. So you're going to want to use 4 tablespoons of Epsom salt. Okay, and Epsom salt you can buy anywhere. And you're going to want to add that to 24 ounces of water. Now, we usually use distilled water. So that's going to make 4 total 6-ounce servings, right? Because 6 times 4 is 24 ounces. And you're going to make that pre-mixed, or you can do them individually if you want. But you're going to drink essentially 3/4 of a glass right at dinner time, right at 6 p.m. Okay. At 8 p.m., you're going to take another serving. Now at 9:30 p.m., usually we say if you haven't had a bowel movement at that point, you'll want to do a coffee enema, or I should say a water enema, just to get things moving. Now, the most important part is here at 9:45 p.m., or about 15 minutes before you get into bed. You're going to squeeze a full grapefruit or 2 to make 3/4 of a glass of grapefruit juice, okay, fresh squeezed. And then you're going to add 1/2 cup, 4 ounces of olive oil to that same grapefruit. You're going to shake that up. And then what you're going to do is right before you get into bed, you're going to drink that mixture of grapefruit and olive oil. Now remember, if you were listening to how to dissolve kidney stones, you would have heard we use the lemon and actually olive oil. Well, what this does is it helps to lubricate and really acidify, open up a lot of that bile. Next, after that, you are going to lie in bed you're going to lie on your left side. And the reason you're going to lie on your left side is so that all of that immediately empties through your stomach as fast as possible. And then after that, you can just kind of flip over to your back if you would like for the rest of the night. Then after that, you lie over onto lie on your right side. We would just kind of move it through the body. All right. And again, this is in the show notes. So immediately move through your stomach on the left, and then you flip over to your right. And what that does is it moves over to your liver, which is on your right side, on your liver side. All right. Very last part, this is you're going to wake up the following morning and you're going to have your 3rd cup of your Epsom salt mixture. What does Epsom salt and water do? I know it doesn't taste great, but it opens up and it dilates your bile ducts. Okay? So that allows for that liver to just dump all of its bile and all of its toxins into the colon. And then that should make you have a bowel movement. And then about 2 hours after waking, you'll have your last glass of Epsom salt. And at this point, you should be having loose bowel movements. You might even see a couple of those bile stones pass through. And you might see many. You might see a bunch of small ones. And then by your last one, by really 10:30, you can start to have just some light fruit, maybe just a banana or a little bit of light fruit to get your digestive system going again. And by lunchtime, you can have a normal vegetarian-based meal. And then that night, go back to normal eating. So that is the full plan. It's actually a lot easier when you see it on paper, and I will try to get that to you. But really, for a week, you're going lighter fat, more vegetarian style. You're drinking your malic acid or taking your malic acid capsules to start to soften the bile. And then it's just one night before, really, 1:30 p.m., let's say on a Friday, you're going to stop having your food after that vegetarian lunch. By that night, you're doing your Epsom salt drink. You're doing your grapefruit and your olive oil. That next morning, you're going to start to have bowel movements to remove all of this stuff. And I found that it's done by 12 o'clock that day. You'll have had really your last bowel movements. You'll really feel great because you'll have eliminated everything in the intestines, and you'll drink your Epsom salt and you'll be done. That will be it. Then you go back to your just a healthier, normal style of eating. So hopefully that gave you really a simple way of doing it. You know, instead of reading this 300-page book or 200-page book, that's the cheat sheet. That is how to do it. People have been doing it now for, thousands of years in Ayurvedic medicine. I found that it works fantastically well, obviously for, if you have stones, gallstones, but really just for opening up the bile, cleansing the blood, because that's what your liver does, and giving your liver just a little bit of support of what it needs. Now, it's not a full detox, but it does help to get that bile flowing, get that moving, and to eliminate a lot of toxins. So again, hopefully that brought you some value today. If you feel that this episode could help anyone, please do feel free to share it with others. And thank you once again, everyone, for tuning in to the Cabral Concept.
Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.